Hi, my name is Lorraine with Lorraine Tierney from Chat and Craft with Lorraine, and I'm coming to you today from Warner, New Hampshire. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator who loves to share techniques and fun folds and all different ways to make cards. Today I thought I'd show you how to make this star fold. This star fold is a fun, could be a fun tag on a gift, or it could be an envelope that, or a card that you put in an envelope. But you will need a 6-inch square envelope. So here it is folded up, and then here it is opened. Okay, so it's really quite fun to make. And I'll take you through how to make it, how to close it, and a few little tricks and tips about it. Whoops, I didn't fold it the same way that time. You see what happens if you don't always fold it the same way. It doesn't always look right. So you have to, I have a little pattern you can use to fold it. I am not going to use the stitched triangle dies today to make it, but you can see that you can use those if you want. And it's the second smallest and second to the largest triangles, the ones that are equilateral. All three sides are equal, can be used on this, but we're going to do it cutting our paper. Okay, so let's get started. You need a full sheet of cardstock that we're going to cut in a minute. You need a piece of basic white that's 4 by 4.5 inches, and I'll have all of this in a blog post. You'll need 3 pieces of patterned paper that are 3 by 2 5/8, and these will make the 3 larger triangles. And then you need 3 little pieces of patterned paper that are 1.5 by 1 5/8, and these will make the small triangles. So let's start with our big piece of cardstock. So let me put my arm out here. We are going to cut this piece of cardstock so that it is 8.5, which is the width already, by 9 3/4. So there's only one side you can get to 9 3/4. So just cut off that little bit and you'll be at 9 3/4. And then we are going to find the middle of that long side, that 9 3/4 inch side, and that is 4 7/8. So just 2 little lines to the right of that 5. Let me get in the camera a little bit more here. Let's see. Hopefully that will be better. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to put a little mark where the cutting channel is, right there. Okay, I'm not going to cut from there. I'm going to keep that little mark in the cutting channel, and I'm going to put the bottom right-hand corner in the cutting channel as well. And I'm trying to see if you can see both of these in the screen. So let me give that a second to catch up. Okay, and then we're going to cut from the pencil mark right through the corner there. Okay, you cannot quite see that bottom. There we go. And I'm going to take that piece off. And now I'm just going to rotate this. That same point is going to stay right there. And I'm going to put the bottom left-hand corner in the track. I think you can see that now. So I have the pencil mark at the top and the point at the bottom. And I don't want to mash that point, so I'll start in the middle with my cutter. There we go. So these are extra you can set aside. And here is the triangle that we are going to now do some scoring on. So we are going to start at 5 3/4. And it's a little bit tricky to line this whole thing up at 5 3/4. You can see the line at the top, but the side piece doesn't have a line. You're just going to stay very close under these numbers here that go down the side. That's 5 3/4, and we're going to score there, and then we're going to score at 4 1/4. And on that one you can see the line all the way down. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to do the same thing, 5 3/4, and I'm looking at how close I am to those numbers, and then 4 1/4. And one last time, 5 3/4 and 4 1/4. Okay, so now we have lots of score lines. I'll put the trimmer aside. We will need that again. Now we're going to take our triangle and fold the lines closest to the center of the triangle. Fold those right in, and they should pretty much match right up with your other sides of the triangle. Okay, so now you have those 3 big folds, and we're going to flip it over and just fold the smaller triangle back and burnish that. Okay, and now you have sort of your star. I didn't fold that quite right, but you get the idea. So to fold it, put a long side at the top, and you're going to fold in your bottom left, and then your top, and then your right one is going to go over the top but under the bottom, similar to how you would fold a box. Now mine is not quite laying flat. I'm going to need to adjust one of my sides just a little bit. And I'm going to try to pull this one back just a little with my bone folder. Just make it a tiny bit more. Okay, let's try that again. So I'm straight across the top, fold one side in, fold the other side in, and then fold in the bottom. And I call the bone folder here a bit of an encourager, and we'll encourage it to lay flat now. I did have to adjust that one side a little bit. Okay, now we will make the triangle that goes in the center. We'll use a white triangle in there, and we're going to put our piece that is 4 by 4 1/2, put the 4 1/2 inch side across the top, and we're going to mark it with our pencil at 2 1/4 because that's half. And we're going to do the same type of cutting to make our triangle. I have my pencil mark in that gutter or channel of the cutter, and then the bottom right point in the cutter. And now I'll turn it and do the other point. And I'll start in the middle. Whoops, I think I slid a little bit. Start in the middle because there's a point at both ends. And that will fit in the center. And you'll want to do your stamping on that before you put it in the center. But we won't do that just yet. All right, while we have the cutter here, we're going to cut our other triangles. So we're going to take the bigger pieces of paper, the pattern paper that's 3 by 2 5/8, and it's the same thing again. That's the 3-inch side. I'm going to mark it at 1 1/2. And same deal with making our triangles. I'm going to do it to each corner, the pencil mark to each corner. Mark it at 1 1/2. Okay, 1 1/2. And guess what? We're going to do that on the small ones. Now these are 1 1/2 by 1 3/8. So we'll put the mark at 3/4. That's going to be a little bit harder to see on this black paper. And it's a little bit harder to hold. You can do the Post-it note trick. And I have the sticky side up so it won't stick to my trimmer. And I'm gonna hold it right there. And I'll have to move it a little and then get this. It is a little tricky on this dark paper. 1 1/2, or I mean 3/4. I'm gonna mark it. I could use my white colored pencil or my white chalk marker because there's already white polka dots on this, so another little white mark might not be too noticeable. But I don't have that. Oh, I do have my little white chalk marker right here. Let's see if that works. That is a little bit easier to see than my pencil mark. One more. Thank you for sticking with me. Okay, so now we're going to decorate this star fold a little bit. The big triangles are pretty easy. They just go on the big triangles. Okay, so I prefer a little bit of the liquid glue. And there's a small border Oops, that's why I like the wiggle room. I can fix that. This is from the Pattern Party paper pack. Try saying that 5 times fast. That's available as a hostess or with an order of $150 or more when you get to use the Stampin' Rewards. Oh, I'm not quite even on that one. This is the one we had to play with just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the center. If I were not on camera, I would wait until I knew what sentiment I wanted, and then I would put it in the middle. But it just looks better to have that in the middle right now. Okay, so again, my horizontal line across the top, the left side in, the top side down, and then the right side gets tucked in. And there's my card, and these are the 3 triangles that I will put my little triangles on. I'm just gonna get those one more time. Okay. So, oh, they're turned over, and I didn't recognize them. Here we go. So we'll put these on. Now, if you fold it a different way, you will see blank triangles and not your decorated little triangles. So that's why you always want to, that one doesn't want to fit there. Let's see what happens with the other one. I think I monkeyed with that other side, so I'm just gonna, this is real life, just gonna trim a little off. There we go. Okay. Left side top, tuck in the bottom. And now I would punch a little hole right here in that top piece. That top piece is also the only point that is a single point, okay? Because of the way we folded it, I'm gonna put a small hole in it. And then I would put a little ribbon through it. So I'm pretty sure I used polished pink, which is the same color as this one. So you can tie a bow or do something like I did on that with a piece of ribbon and then a piece of twine wrapped around it a couple of times. I don't know why I try to do this on camera. There we go. And I'll just tie it in a little bow. Make those loops the size that I would like. There we go. And then trim these. And you can put a sentiment on the outside if you want as well. So my blog will have the rest of the instructions, chatandcraftwithlorraine.com. It's called the Starfold Card, and I hope you will make one. If there's any way I can help you make cards or enjoy paper crafting at home, please be in touch. I would love to help you out. Have a good day. Bye-bye.